Hi everyone, my name is Ramiro Berrelleza. I am one of the founders of Okteto. Okteto is a cloud native company where we build tools to help you build your applications in Kubernetes faster than ever. I was big into like K3S when it came out. I was very excited about it, so I started using it very early on. Actually, the day Rancher released K3S, I learned of it, and I wrote a blog post on how to use K3S with one of our tools in Okteto. And that's kind of what got me into the K3S ecosystem. And then through that and Twitter, I learned of Civo. And I was very excited. I applied to kind of like the early beta they had for their Kubernetes service. And through that, I met Andy at a conference. I met Sam through Twitter. And that's how I discovered Civo, and that's how I started using it. And that's been since then. Since then, I've become kind of part of the community. I've chatted with a lot of people there, and I've been a big fan of Civo ever since then. My favorite thing about the Civo community is that they're incredibly supportive. Every time I've had an issue, whether it's like something my fault or maybe a bug on Civo or something I just don't know of, I've always gotten help, but not just help, but like super nice. People will be super encouraging, trying to figure out what's going on with what problem do you have, what are you trying to accomplish. And every time there's been something about the platform, maybe they're always super supportive. No one is dismissive. I love that energy. I love the, hey, we're all here to help each other. That is something that I think the general Cube community has it, but specifically Civo is one of my favorite. They do this super well. Very friendly, always eager to help, and always eager to learn from each other is great. It's actually one of the communities I hang out with. Like if you see my Slack, I have always like maybe 6 or 7 Slack opens, and Civo is definitely one of those. So I've used Civo clusters for a bunch of different things. First thing is, we build tools for Kubernetes. So one of the important things for us is to make sure that Okteto works on any Kubernetes platform. And Civo is great for me, it's great for 2 big reasons. The first one is it's incredibly fast to spin up a cluster. It's like, I'm not kidding, it takes a minute or 2 to get a cluster up and running. That is like 5 to 10 times faster than when you get out of Google Cloud, AWS, or any of the other providers. So this is great because when we're testing, we need to go fast. We need to like validate something quickly. Sometimes there's issues in our solutions that we need to fix. So being able to test and iterate quickly is one thing that I love about Civo. The other is because it's such an easy to use platform, a lot of people who use Okteto use Civo. So also, about 2-3 months ago, we officially released Okteto Enterprise support for Civo. So now I'm also using Civo to run Okteto Enterprise. I actually have a personal instance of Okteto Enterprise that I use to give demos to our customers, to try scenarios myself that I run on Civo. Those 2 are my main ones. And number 3, whenever I want to experiment with something new on Kubernetes, a new version, I want to write some software, install a solution. Again, just because Civo is so easy to use and so fast, it's now my go-to solution for all of these things.